I started a weekly AI newsletter and I have 0 employees. No writers, no editors, no social media person, and no operations. Just me and a team of AI agents that handle researching, drafting, scheduling, subscriber management, and everything else while I'm not even at my desk. So let me show you the entire setup and what it actually cost me to run, and more importantly, how you could do the same. So the tool I use to build this business is called Accio Work, and they kindly sponsored this video, but don't worry, they're free to use. Now I want to show you exactly what I built so you can see how this works. Then I'm going to dive into the AI agents that are actually running in the background that populate the dashboard that's here. So let's go full screen and you can see that I have this full newsletter operations dashboard where it's showing me all of the different stages. So basically the idea is that I have an AI agent that does a bunch of research and then drafts up kind of a proposal newsletter. We go into review where we have the editing and agents doing that, and then I manually review it. And then as soon as I approve it, we actually go and schedule it, and then we add it to my newsletter platform, which is ConvertKit, where I can press publish and have it go live. You can see that what it does is create a few short stories, so it kind of puts multiple stories in the newsletter, which is how I wanted it to do that. It gives us some social media copy based on this newsletter, which is something that I do quite frequently, and then all the stats of my real newsletter. These are the actual stats. 27,000 subscribers, open rate, click rate, unsubscribe rate, campaigns. You can see everything that we have going on here. And then if we change the week to one that's in the past because it hasn't pulled the stats yet, you can see we get my performance on Twitter and on LinkedIn because that's what I want to be tracking. And then I get all of the agents that I have here. So my research agent, content agent, social agent, analytics agent, a live log of everything that's gone on. And then we can see all of the different newsletters that we have, including the one that's scheduled to go out. If I go over to my staging area here, you can see that it shows us everything that it did. So we have our research report, right, which is here. We have our draft, which I've already approved for this week. This is for the actual newsletter. We have our social post, which we can approve and then automatically post onto X and LinkedIn. And then we have our analytics, where it shows us everything that went on, our sub count, the different titles, how the stories performed, and recommendations for the next week. Now, all of this took me about an hour and a half to build, and I want to show you exactly how I did this. So like I mentioned, the tool that I used here is called Accio Work. Now this orchestrates multiple different agents to achieve whatever goal you set out for it, and it's specifically designed for building businesses, working with e-commerce, and comes with a ton of agents and skills built in. It also runs a 24/7 virtual desktop, which means that you can coordinate this from your phone. You can connect it to Telegram, which is exactly what I did, and you can kind of see if I bring open Telegram here, my agent chat log as I was telling it what to do. So let me go into the platform. You can use this from the web. You can also use it from the desktop application, which is how I was using it. And I want to show you kind of the prompts that I ran and how I got this set up. So the first thing I did here in Accio is I started defining the different agents that I wanted to use. Now this platform, like I mentioned, is set up to use multiple different sub-agents and to have these agents collaborate and work inside of teams. So when you make these agents, you can then make a team with them. You can see I have my newsletter team right here, and you can combine them and have them delegate to each other, communicate with each other, and then you can obviously tag a special agent if you want to do something specific. So you'll start with a few pre-built agents, for example, this one right here, which is kind of just a general purpose agent, but then I built the analytics agent where you can see I kind of gave it some instructions on, okay, I want you to do all the analytics. I gave it access to a few different tools. I then connected to some plugins like LinkedIn and Twitter so that it's able to actually pull my data and see what's going on. I then picked the different skills that I wanted to have access to. There's a ton of skills that are already in the platform, and I did the same thing for my social agent, my content agent, and my research agent. And then the coder agent, this one already existed, so I just used the built-in one to actually build out the platform. Now within the agents themselves, you can also pick the model family that you want to use. So Gemini, OpenAI, Claude, and all of this is provided for you within the subscription that you have to this platform. You can either use the free subscription where you get a limited number of credits, or you can upgrade to a paid subscription where you get a lot more and they get refreshed every single day. So anyways, once I created my agents, I also then went and set up a few plugins. So for example, I connected LinkedIn. You can see it's connected right here, and it's kind of with these different agents here. I also, if we go back to plugins, connected Twitter or X so that I can pull those live analytics. And they have a lot of other connectors that you can set up here if you want to go to Apollo or Instantly, right? And you can see a lot of this stuff is kind of e-commerce or business focused because that's really what this platform is designed for. From there, you can also see that there's skills and connectors. All the skills you see here are actually built into the platform itself. You can create skills programmatically using the agents, or you can add your own, but I found that they already have quite a good list, and then you can link these with the specific agents that you want to use them. Then from there, they also have various connectors. You can see, like I already connected a few of them, and Instagram, GitHub, other ones you can add, and there's a bunch of other ones that are supposed to be coming soon. Okay, so that's like the kind of high level setup, get the plugins, get the agents in place, and then what I did is I went and I connected to Telegram. So you can also connect to Discord, WeChat, whatever. You see all of the options here. Very easy to do so, and then what you can do is just connect it to a particular agent, or you can connect it to an agent team. So once my agents were created, I just made a team. You can see that you can kind of do it like this by just giving the name, changing the mode, giving a team leader, and then it will give you the team down here. So I have my newsletter team. If I click into my members, you can see I have my team lead, my coder, analytics, social agent, content agent, and research agent, and then I have my paired Telegram so that I can start triggering the tasks from there, get notifications, see when I need to approve a task, etc. You then have the ability to give this access to a folder. So I opened a new directory on my desktop, and then I just started prompting this. You can see that if I scroll up, like I had, a long conversation with this where I was chatting with it a lot, and I kind of started with this prompt here where I said, hey, I'm running a weekly AI and developer newsletter. This is what I want you to do. And then it started setting up the directory structure, creating the markdown files, building out the platform, and we have everything kind of organized and separated in these folders here so that we can come back to it and always retain the context. Now you can see that as I was prompting this, it actually started by just making sure it understood the roles of all of the different agents. And then what it did is it created these scheduled tasks. So this is the thing that's running 24/7 for me, are all of these scheduled tasks in the background so that I don't need to automatically do this. So for example, Monday at 9 a.m., we do the newsletter research, right? Then we go over here, Tuesday, we do the newsletter weekly draft. Then on Thursday, we do the newsletter weekly social posts. And then on Friday, we pull all of the analytics, and then we do a daily check-in every day at 8 a.m. and you can see what the task looks like. So these will just run on repeat for me and then update this dashboard that you see right here where it shows us when it was updated. We can manually pull and sync the data, and then we get all of the values uploaded here. Now that's because I'm using ConvertKit, as you can see. So what I have to do is add like kind of an API key so that I'm able to connect to that platform, because there's not a built-in connector in Accio here. So what I had to do is just tell it, hey, write some code to pull the info from ConvertKit, and then I can trigger that script to run to pull any of the data. But because I don't want to do that manually, I have that check-in every day, so it's automatically pulling and refreshing the info. So hopefully that gives you a sense of kind of the architecture of the application. The idea is that we have these agents running in the background. They're going to go through all of these different tasks on these kind of daily or weekly schedules that we've set up. They're going to automate the dashboard automatically. And then anytime we want to change something, update something, we can come to our agent team here. We can tag a particular agent, or we can add different skills, files, whatever. And then we can start, chatting with it and getting it to execute that task. So let me give you an example of how this run might work. I'm just going to get it to kind of start doing some research so we can maybe simulate some steps in the process. You can see kind of the output that we get. Can you simulate the research step that we would normally do for our newsletter flow, and then give me the result of that research here? Use the research agent. Okay, go ahead and press enter. And by the way, if you're wondering what I'm using to dictate here, I'm using a really cool tool called Whisper Flow. You guys always ask me. It's free to use. I have a long-term partnership with them, so I'll leave a link in the description. You can see that it's much faster to speak into the mic or speak into your computer than it is to type, which is why I use it, and it gives you really good formatted, accurate AI dictation, which is much better than what's built into the computer. Anyways, let's wait for this to finish and see the result we get. Okay, so you can see the research agent was invoked and it's giving us the reply, and you can see in the corner here, I'm getting the notifications in Telegram because it's linked to that channel, so I can see all the responses in here, or I could trigger the agent from this channel as well. And you can see that this is the research that was generated. So it said 5 shortlisted technical stories. It actually went out, and that's why it took a minute to run, because it's doing research on GitHub. It's looking at different changes that are going on. It's checking Node.js. It's checking Microsoft Azure. And you can see kind of what happened here is that our main agent delegated to the research agent, got the response from the research agent, and then gave us the kind of summarized reply here. So research agent first, then Accio here, this agent gave us the kind of response of what that research actually was. And this is obviously the URL and the references for everything that it looked at. So let's say now that we like that and we wanted to move to maybe the social post component. Again, this will happen automatically, but if we wanted to trigger it, we go, okay, can you generate a Twitter post with one of the interesting stories here from this research? Give it to me to approve. And then once approved, let's post it on Twitter. Okay, and let's see what we get, and then I'll actually have it do the trigger and post it on Twitter because it's capable of doing that here. Okay, so I think I probably prefer option 1 here of what it's given me, because it's given me a few results. So let's go approve option 1 and post on Twitter. Okay, and then I'm going to pull up my Twitter or my X and I'll show you if it actually posted it. Okay, so it said that it posted it, and if I go here to X or Twitter, you can see that we've got this 24 seconds ago, GitHub Copilot can now query language servers, and it's live. And then we'll be able to pull the analytics of that tweet, give me all the info, and update the dashboard as we go. So really, like, I can now replace essentially a full team of people that normally I would hire to run my Twitter or run my LinkedIn or run my newsletter. And what I want to get into now is the cost of this and compare it to if I were to hire contractors. Now, before building this, I actually did have someone who was doing ghostwriting for me and posting on different social media platforms, and I was paying them about $1,500 per month to manage 2 or 3 platforms at the same time. They're writing newsletters, they're doing analytics, like all of the stuff effectively that this can do for me, they were doing. So again, keep that in mind, kind of fixed costs. Let's call it $1,500 a month, and that's a pretty reasonable amount. Now here, so far I've used 3,200 credits of the 4,000 in this plan. In this plan that I have here, if I go to manage the subscription, let's pull it up in the web, costs, drumroll please, $19 per month. So for, I don't know, approximately $16, $17 worth of credits, I built out this full platform. It now runs. It's obviously not going to consume a lot of credits now because most of the consumption was building the platform. I get more credits every single day, and this can go and run my entire business for me. Now, of course, I could have done it for free, but it's just not enough credits to build up the entire thing. And then they have a bunch of other plans that you can look at here, but that's how much it costs. So we're comparing a subscription of $20 per month if I kept with that, but I could probably cancel it and go back to the free one now, compared to $1,500 per month for a contractor. And you could argue that this does a better job and gives me more insights into what's going on. Now, of course, this isn't perfect. I still need editorial judgment. I still need to actually go and approve the post. I need to make sure that we're getting a good result, and it doesn't always give me, the highest quality newsletter, and we might need to do some revisions. But generally speaking, this is super useful. And if I spend some more time here, I can build something out that, generally can make a ton of money running a newsletter business. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much all that I have for you. If you're a developer, which I imagine many of you are, and you're looking to start some kind of business and you want AI agents to automate a lot of those tasks, this is a very simple, easy to use platform that can do that for you with a lot of the tools built in. Obviously, try it out, use it for free, see if you like it, and let me know in the comments down below what you build, because for me, I thought this was quite useful. So anyways, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.